I told my patient to plunge into ice water and stay there for 3 minutes. I did not do that to torture him. I actually do this myself. He came into the clinic and said, my skin is on fire, the shots of cortisol and the meds are not working. What are we going to do now? This patient suffered from psoriasis and an allergy-based esophagitis. These problems were related to his immune system, which was flooding his body with problems. At first, the treatments were mild with allergy meds, and then his immune system kept getting stronger and angrier, and we were at the top of the algorithm, suppressing his immune system as much as possible. His immune system was outperforming my medications. So the treatment out of this wild chase of his immune system is to get cold. In the olden days, before any of these meds were available, the treatment for an overzealous immune system was a cold plunge or cold therapy. I do this myself as part of a thermal cycle at the spa. I use the sauna until I can't stand it anymore, and then I reset with immersion into a cold water bath. Thermal cycles, where you alternate between hot saunas and cold plunges, are filled with health benefits. I've covered the benefits of sauna before. This patient should take advantage of the science behind cold therapy. Wim Hof, who's the Iceman, uses cold immersion to teach patients about improved mindset while regulating an overactive immune system. This method really pushes subjects to overproduce the anti-inflammatory markers and to suppress the pro-inflammatory markers. In other words, it's the opposite of what his autoimmune disorder is doing. The stress in his life is triggering his immune system to overproduce a bunch of cytokines and other inflammatory markers, making him feel terrible and flaring every one of his autoimmune disorders. My anti-inflammatory drugs can no longer fight the storm of problems happening inside his body. Wim Hof and the research behind the cold immersion shows that by putting the body into that cold temperature, it decreases those cytokines, those things making him feel terrible, and increases some of the neurotransmitters that makes us feel wonderful, like norepinephrine and epinephrine. The reason I do this is to increase my norepinephrine for my brain and stress my immune system. I think of it as a workout for my immunity and my mind. The key is that when you get into that cold water, you must get past the first 26 seconds. That's when the wave of pain receptors related to temperature are taking over your body. And at the 26-second mark, the pain drops by up to 90%. When I'm in the spa, I have to stare at the clock for those 30 seconds. And once I get past that, my marker is to stay in for a full 3 minutes. When I go to the spa, there's a bit of competition between me and my husband. He does a great job by lasting much longer in the sauna than I do, but I win when it comes to cold immersion. The advice I gave to this patient was cold immersion therapy for 3 minutes, 3 times a week. And although this worked for that patient, I've spent the last 5 years teaching patients how to reverse many problems with an advanced state of ketosis. I gave the advice of the cold immersion therapy because the patient was in crisis. But if he wants to live a life with low inflammation, he's gonna have to sign up for a ketogenic way of living, and he cannot play around. This is an advanced level of ketosis. If you've got autoimmune that got better on a ketogenic diet, when you add those carbs back in, the inflammation will flood back. You have got to stay away from the carbs. Look at these pictures of one of my favorite neurons in her 70s named Vicky. Vicky came into the ketogenic way of living because of her autoimmune disorders. They were flaring and the meds were not working. Vicky didn't use ice baths to reverse her autoimmune problems. She used an advanced state of ketosis. But I'll tell you, ice baths plus an advanced state of ketosis is a double whammy if you're fighting autoimmune disorders. So why does keto work so well for inflammation? This happens on a cellular level, and I'll teach you about it in the next video.